Konnichiwa, what's going on, guys? My name is Jomel.
My name's Jarron,
and we are the Wannabe Boo Podcast, bringing you the latest and greatest game and anime news, reviews, and waifus for life. Welcome to episode 76.
Are you sure it's 76?
Yes, I'm completely sure, because, it's definitely 76. Because as of this recording, it's only been a couple of days since we actually recorded 75.
Oh, wait, yeah, that's true.
Technically. But that's movie magic. For you guys who are actually listening to this, on the day of it's supposed to come out,
right?
There's been some scheduling things, and we got to record a podcast a little bit earlier during the week. So in this case, Jarron, how was your 24 hours so far?
What I honestly don't even know what I did for the last 24 hours. Working. That's it.
That's it. You didn't do anything in the last 24 hours that could have been exciting or anything that could change your life.
Yeah, I got paid for playing tic-tac-toe for 3 hours.
Really? What? Oh, okay. Oh, you didn't. There was not much going on in work.
No, it wasn't much going on at work today.
I see. Okay. Well, I could probably say the same thing. For my 24 hours, played a little bit of Destiny though, so that's pretty much my trash life as usual.
Oh no, I did realize that. There's an entire second half to the fucking Bloodstained Ritual of the Night game.
Oh.
So.
Well, there you go.
I'm not even close to being done with it.
All right. Well, we can just get right into this stuff since it's literally been like 24 hours since the last update. Hopefully there'll be more. I will say this though. Even though I only went for one day at Anime Midwest, post Con Depression is still one hell of a bitch. Even though I only went one day.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, I felt it hard on Monday. I'm like, man, I don't feel so good. Like, not in a sad way, but like I just feel empty. I feel bored. So.
ConLife is the best life. That's why we were gonna start that con bumming business.
Yeah, exactly. We gotta start that con bumming series. But before we get to that though. I do want to introduce you guys to a guest in the show because it's been a while since we had a guest. I guess yes. Our last episode we had a guest was episode 69 with TJ, way back when.
Right, 6 episodes ago.
Yeah. So, but it's always nice to grab some people from the community, bring them on the Wannabe Boo podcast, and speak their minds about whatever topic that we pull out of our ass. Right, right, John.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah, definitely. So, let me formally introduce you to not only is this person a close friend of mine as well. We kind of knew each other for quite a while.
Childhood friends, you would say.
So you could say, in that traditional tag of anime taglines of the sort.
Right.
Not only that, but this he is a great person at cons. I always run into him accidentally at every con I've been to. It's with some ungodly magical ability. It's that classic childhood friend. Hey, aren't you and all that stuff.
Right.
But let me formally and humbly introduce you to one of my good friends, Sweetie.
How's it going, loves? Sweetie Tax here, just ready to do this podcast. I'm so excited for this. Thank you so much, Jomel, for letting me, you know what? No. Thank you so much, Kuya, for letting me be a part of this. This is really exciting.
Oh, I don't think we've ever we ever talked about the whole Kuya thing.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, is there really a need to?
I mean,
yes.
You know what? I'm going to explain it.
Okay.
Jomel here, he's actually Filipino. I'm Filipino, like half Filipino, and we always we technically first met when we were like really younglings, and like Kuya means older brother. So I'm kind of used to calling him either Kuya or Jomel, depending on how the situation goes, because he's been like an older brother to me. So when we talk about way back when, I think we mean way back when.
Yeah,
like
real way back.
Baby.
Yeah.
So, I remember, us playing with our Power Ranger Megazords together. That's how way back was.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Like, classic childhood friend right there.
Yeah.
But before we get into the juicy meat topic of this week's show, where can you find Sweetie out in the world of the internet? Well, you can follow you can follow the two socials that I have provided for you guys down in the link below. But I will also talk to you guys what they are. One of them is Sweet3 Toxic, which is his Instagram. It's spelled SWEET 3 TOXIC. And also, if you'd like, follow him on his Facebook page, which is Sweet -E Toxic Cosplay and Drag. And other than that, where else can they also find our podcast, Jarron, and other things of that related note?
If you take a second right around hell, you'll find if you search WANNABEBOO on Facebook or Twitter, you'll be able to find us. And if you would like to watch us, listen to us, search the same thing on YouTube. Where are we? iTunes? No. Apple Podcasts.
There we go.
iHeartRadio, Google Play, Listen Notes, the Stitcher app, and any other place that might have picked up our podcast or RSS feed.
There we go. So, now recording this and talking about the subject is going to be a little bit weird, just because when this actually comes out, it's going to be after the con that Sweetie's going to be coming back from. But it's also relevant to what we want to talk about, because we also just came back from Anime Midwest of this past weekend of this recording. But generally, I do want to talk about ConLife in general. So, John, remember when we talked about first con experiences and like what to do on your first con, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
So this is something more so for the veterans out there, and also not just for the veterans, but like seasonal or yearly kind of like con goers in general. If you go to different, like other than like the one con you go to, but like even just general other cons you do like to go to. As far as I know, Sweetie here you've been to multiple different cons other than ASIN as well, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
And you would say, do you think the ConLife experience differs between cons, or is it generally the same?
The con lives are usually like different depending on the cons you go to. Like the experiences are really different, but there is like a structure to them. Like if you go to out of state cons, like if you go to the out of state cons, sometimes the atmosphere changes tremendously. Like for example, the four major cons that I went to are the four like states I usually go to when it goes to the cons, are usually either in Chicago area, of course, because I'm from Chicago, Wisconsin, Kalamazoo, Michigan, specifically, and St. Louis.
Kalamazoo?
Yeah. Those are like... What's so funny?
This is called Kalamazoo. I'm sorry, I'm 7.
I don't get it.
It's because it sounds weird. Kalamazoo. What the hell is that?
Are you not familiar?
Kalamazoo?
Are you not familiar with that city? I know of that city.
I didn't know there's a place called Kalamazoo. That's awesome.
Kalamazoo. Anyways, those are like the four state/city/things I've been to. State/city out-of-state conventions that I've been to. Well, out-of-state like places that have conventions that I have been to, and usually like the atmosphere is so different because with Chicago cons, I know like 75% of the people after attending the cons how many times, and that's kind of the same with Wisconsin because like a lot of Chicago people go to like the Wisconsin conventions, and the only 3 I know are Anime Milwaukee, that's coming up soon, like around February. Daishokan, which is in the Kalahari Resort in the Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin, coming up in November, and KitsuneCon, which is, well, the same weekend as Dokido-Con this year. Weird scheduling, but hey.
Yeah.
Which, if we're watching this podcast on Monday, it was like, then that would make KitsuneCon yesterday. Time stuff. But anyways, like going to these conventions, like especially like the Wisconsin conventions because like Chicago is so close to that area, it feels a little less stranger-ish because a lot of the people from that state also go up there as well.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of like the most I have to say. It really depends on the state you go to.
Right. I mean, I guess what can you really expect from an anime convention outside of like, you know?
Well,
a
it
bunch
really
of
depends.
weebs?
Well, it really depends if you are either a 1 week or 1 day goer, or if you're a full weekend goer.
Right.
For a 1 day attendee person, like one of the people who only attends like 1 day,
Right.
and this is only coming from like the Chicago conventions though. It's mainly an experience. It's mainly like an experience, but there are things that you are missing like in that weekend that sometimes actually give more of an impact to the convention. Like, let's take Anime Central for example. Like, if you only went Saturday, then you've only seen like, let's see, what was my Anime Central like back in 2019? Okay. So because I didn't go to the rave this year at Anime Central. Like, I competed for their small little drag show and I got in and I was performing from like 12 midnight till 2 a.m. and that's all I remember. There was also like the meetups there was also like the photo shoot meetups that were happening because I know they usually do like the minor animes and minor fandoms either on Sunday, but the second minor fandoms on Friday for like the photo shoot meetups. And Saturdays when they do like the major rager fan bases, like Final Fantasy was famous during then, Kingdom Hearts was famous during Anime Central,
Right.
Smash Bros was famous during Anime Central, My Hero Academia.
Right.
When I'm talking about like minor fandoms, I'm talking about like Digimon, Pokemon, like some of the fandoms that are like not doing anything new of recent yet, or hardly anybody ever cosplays from them.
Right.
But Sunday is more the gray area for the photo shoots.
I get you. I'm assuming like I guess I'm a part of this community because I read the whole damn thing. The Homestucks are a part of the group of people that you rarely see anymore.
It depends. I feel like it depends, to be honest.
The Homestucks, they're like very rare to find. You usually see them on like Sunday if they don't have any have any major cosplay plans, because I'll admit it, Homestuck is probably like the easiest thing to cosplay. But it's also like how do I put this?
You
ever get
cover
like
yourself in gray.
Body paint? If we ever get to a podcast about that, I have stories about that.
I mean, this is the one for it.
This is like, okay, but anyways, like Homestuck's kind of like starving a little bit. It's not dead yet. It's starving,
Yeah, I
which
mean,
means
it's got a cult following.
die.
Oh god.
which means like it's the fandom is like slowly going away,
Good.
but it's still holding up strong because there's still so many committed fans, and they already bought the tools, they already bought the horns, and they bought the gray body paint. So why get rid of it?
No,
Yeah.
bury it.
No.
Bury it away. Throw it away. It needs to go away.
I understand. I was never a Homestuck to begin with, and people thought I was because I cosplay a lot of Steven Universe, but I'm like,
Mhm.
no.
That
just love-
seems to go hand in hand, doesn't it?
Are they related in some way?
No.
Like in
It-
terms of like it's
They're not.
okay.
It's like they're not. It's just the only reason people relate it to is because the style of cosplay for Steven Universe and Homestuck are so similar.
Mm.
But the one thing is, like, just because Homestuck inspired the LGBT community to come out of its shell, Steven Universe amplified the LGBT community. Because the difference between like inspired is, oh, now that I realize what I am, I'm going to stick to it. Amplifying, meaning amplifying kind of means I know what I am, I'm going to hear this message loud and clear, and I'm going to support the fact that I am LGBT, but I'm getting off subject, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I think
Yeah,
I think that's where they both go hand in hand, Homestuck and Steven Universe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I mean, but I'm just gonna say in an objective sense, like
Mhm.
while both, as you said, both might have something to do with like the LGBTQ community, and everyone else that's not necessarily a part of it, or allies or whatever. I would say the main difference is the amount of cancer you get with the Homestuck community versus the Steven Universe community. Now,
I will admit that.
Now, I'm saying this as if, like, again, I've read the whole thing. I enjoyed Homestuck.
Yes, sir.
But, like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, no.
The fandom is fucking rough.
Here's kind of the thing. I was friends with a couple of Homestucks.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot, like, they talked to me about secret codes at conventions that they do. And it destroys, and it was a past thing, and it usually like destroy the conventions. Like elevators wouldn't work. There'd usually be like a big crowd of some sort, disruption of a panel or something. Like I remember they did like those small codes in the Homestuck community, but thank you to the power of security at conventions and people being snitches in the community, like those things has finally died down, if not stopped. I say that, and then I notice a big wall in the sky bridge of Anime Midwest.
Yeah.
And instead of fixing that pothole, they just call it Kyle, and I'm just like,
wait, that's what that's from?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I saw the hole, Jarron. I was walking on the sky bridge. I saw the hole. I'm like, what the fuck? When did this happen? Oh my god! And that just became the Midwest thing for the weekend.
It just became the Midwest meme. So
I saw it floating around on
like
Facebook,
I say,
but I didn't understand.
Like I say security's like on their game, and I say security's finally stopped Homestuck destruction. But there's a difference between Homestuck destruction and other like content the attendees destruction.
Right.
So that's fun. And besides, Homestuck couldn't make that because like there was probably like this big muscular steroids drunk man who did it, but that's kind of a different story.
Yeah,
well, I don't know if you need too much force to put a hole in the wall. You just drunk enough, you can just put your face right through it.
Yeah.
No, we can't talk about this. We got to be family friendly at conventions.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, super family friendly at the raves, right? There's nothing but Christian values there.
Actually, no. You know what? I don't know. Oddly enough, when I went to Midwest, there was I saw a lot more families there, more than ASIN at least. From my experience, it was weird. Like, I mean, I guess Midwest is supposed to be much more casual in a sense, but I did see a lot more families and the kids, in cosplay and all that attending the con. So it was kind of nice with that kind of change of pace. So.
I think the only difference is Anime Central is more famous for their musical guests and more famous for like the celebrities that they bring in. Mm-hmm. Anime Midwest is all about activity. Because if there's not like a panel going on of your favorite fandom, then karaoke's are open. They had 2 karaoke rooms that both were popping, so I did appreciate that. Mm-hmm. It's either you go to the karaoke rooms. If there's too much of a karaoke hassle, you can always go to the May Cafe that they always hosted.
Yeah.
Wait, has ASIN ever had a cosplay? The Mate Cafe? I don't think.
They did have one.
Remember?
No, they did have one this year. They did have one.
What?
I just didn't go. I didn't go, but I do remember there was the room for it.
You didn't go.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did go.
I didn't go because I never knew about it.
Ah, fair enough. You didn't know about it. It can't help that.
I had priorities, my friend.
Yeah, okay.
Like I didn't know about it
because that's a priority.
Like I didn't know about it because they didn't advertise it as I thought they should, but I guess.
I mean, I heard about it, so I knew it was going on. I just didn't really took the time to like go.
No, I'm disappointed in you.
You know what? I was working too that weekend, Jarron. I had to like.
You were a man of culture.
I am a man of culture. I work for our podcast. I really want to. I'm trying to. I do my best, Jarron. Okay.
Jarron, you don't understand. He is a man of culture.
Indeed. That's why I sang country at the karaoke at karaoke at fucking Midwest.
You should have been shot on the spot.
Hey, I want to at least thank Anthony for encouraging me to do at least one song in that place, because I was like, I was already on the fence about it, but like, you know what? Sure, I'll go up there and sing a song. Might as well. I don't know these people.
Who the fuck goes to an anime con to sing country?
The same people that the same people that sing opera.
Look, opera's at least in anime sometimes, whether it's in Gregorian chant or whatever the hell. You don't hear country in anime.
Have you heard the Japanese version of Take Me Home, West Virginia?
That's not real. That's not real.
You know what this means, though, right? Now we gotta make an anime inspired by country music. You can keep the interest now. There's no turning back.
Full circle, Jarron. It's gonna come full circle. I swear to God. I swear we're gonna get a good old fashioned yeehaw anime one day, 1 year, 1 season, and it's gonna be fucking glorious.
We did. It was called Cowboy Bebop.
No, actually, country music does exist in the world of cosplay, gaming, and anime. Have you seen McCree from Overwatch? Have you played as Graves from League of Legends? Have you? Like, there is a country song in Steven Universe called "On the Run," sung by Amethyst and Steven themselves. So,
but that doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make it right, but it's also expanding upon things that we never can comprehend in this spectrum of life that we live in. This philosophy of I'll shut up.
No, you're right. No, you're right, Andy. Don't let
No. He knows. He knows. He knew.
Country music matters, Jarron. Country music. # country music matters.
# country music in our animes.
Yes.
You know what? Watch. That's gonna be the new cosplay idea. My Hero Academia merged with Cowboys Western / country music.
There's a fucking hero whose quirk is to shoot.
Oh
things.
Yeah, that dude.
There's that dude.
You mean the McCree ripoff?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah,
Aaron Black ripoff of My Hero Academia. I'm sorry. Like, I look at him just like, you're Aaron Black. You should be shooting them kids and collecting their brains.
Yeah, pretty much. But so there was something interesting I did want to talk to you about, Anthony. As far as the ConLife goes in general, I remember we had a conversation one time about like what is it? Knowing your con groups and all that kind of stuff. Because obviously everyone has their own way of like interacting with cons. Even you, Jarron, like you got your own groups and I got my groups, and
what do you mean my own group? I don't fucking.
Well, whenever you do come here, I'm just talking in the past, like when you were here and you went to Asen and all that.
I went with you fuckers.
Yeah, exactly. That was our group. All I'm saying is that we had our own thing going on too, right? So.
Right.
One of the interesting things that Anthony did talk to me about, like, that you don't mesh groups together. Is if I'm not butchering it?
Yes. So I'll tell you this right now. I have too many groups to count that I usually hang around with at conventions. So I'm going to use, considering the fact that this kind of podcast is all resembled around Anime Central and Anime Midwest, I'm going to use those like as my guides, but groups, but there are 3 groups that I'm technically a part of, which are my cosplay family, which involves Derpy Love Cosplay. Shout out to her, give her a follow. She's always cosplaying with me most of the time. Like when it comes to My Hero Academia, Ruby. We used to do Fairy Tail and Pokemon. But she didn't make a Gaijinka yet, and I'm trying to like egg her on to cosplay that because I'm just like, hey, I made Gaijinkas, time for you to make a Gaijinka, but she's like family, but she's like group A, and I usually hang around with such. She usually like drags me a little bit into her Love Life group just because which I'm not very interested in Love Life. I never cosplay from Love Life. That's another community altogether that I'll.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Love Life for. I'm a Love Liver. Excuse me.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. That's what he is.
Okay. Here's my opinion on Love Live.
Well, the anime or like the fandom? Because
the fandom. The anime I have no freedom to say because I never watched the anime. I've only watched like one episode and it's too cool and it's too kawaii for me. Okay, I'll admit it. There's like animes in the universe that'll think, okay, this is kawaii enough for me to mustard, and then there's Love Live, which is too kawaii for me.
I
I'll
mean,
admit
Nico
it.
Nico Ni, ain't that right?
Oh, don't say that. That's my trigger. Don't say that. That's my trigger warning. I will
That's
legitimately
my
drop.
trigger warning.
I will legitimately drop kick somebody.
Nico Ni is my trigger.
Hey, you know that one attitude adjustment from WWE from John Cena? I
Yeah.
will legitimately do that to the next girl or the next guy dressed up like Honoka if they dare say that. I don't care if it's a Nico cosplayer. I don't care if it's a Yumi cosplayer. Hell, I don't even care if it's a Yoshiko, Yohane, whatever cosplay. I will pile drive them to the ground if they say Nico Ni.
Thank you.
But anyways, like
Love Live Forever though.
But the fan base, I only had drama with one person from the fan base. Like my friend Derpy, she once upon a time tried encouraging me to be a part of Love Live because I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, I'm a bragger.
Like part of like just the fandom, or like just kind of that kind of group setting and all that.
Like what Love Live cosplayers do is they start these idol groups that encourage them to like dance the songs from the anime because I forgot Love Live was inspired by a real idol group, right?
I mean, no, I mean there's that. No, well, I mean Love Live itself is from a game, like the actual like mobile, like the mobile or no, sorry, it's like a arcade like idol game. But I mean a lot of the idol anime in general, they are based off of real idol groups in general. So there is some relativity or relevance to all that.
Okay. So, well, that being said, some of these girls try mimicking, and they do it excellently, some of the dances. But if you like go behind the scenes in some of the groups, some of them, just like Derpy's group, Star Rise, follow them on Instagram, see one of their shows. They're on YouTube, Star Rise. They usually take their groups into somewhat of a motherly approach. And I have seen some groups that are cutthroat, like legitimately cutthroat. You gotta learn how to dance. You gotta learn how to sing. You gotta learn how to do this. You gotta learn how to do that. Your cosplay needs to be right. Your body type needs to be right. They kicked out like one group. I forgot their name, and I don't want to get too much into detail of it. But they kicked out this one girl just because of her size, and that's inappropriate.
Right. We don't body shame here. Cosplay whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
I refuse to accept a world where you cannot cosplay certain characters because of a certain body size. Like, look at me. I'm a skinny twig. If you like seen my Instagram, and my main cosplay is Kirishima Eijiro from My Hero Academia. Just so, fight me, America. I'm a skinny boy cosplaying a muscular man.
Yeah. Well, hold on. In terms of like those cutthroat kind of like fans, does that include like the one group that was like doing those weird like those real intense chants when we went to that Love Live panel or performance on Saturday?
I got scared of those chants.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah. Explain to Jarron what happened.
Okay, so Star Rise had their performance in Anime Midwest, along with this other group called Vaporize, I think. Which I don't know where these girls come up with these names. Vaporize just it sounds like.
Well, A-Rise is actually A-Rise is actually the name of one of the competing groups, I think, if I remember correctly from the Love Live series. It's one of the other competing groups of Muse and all that. So that's where those names come from.
I see where they come from with that. I see where they come from with that. Well, anyways, like, so during the dance, there were these guys who were like deep throat. Like, I'm scared of the people who watch these shows because these are like grown ass men. I'm looking at them with their deep voice, like and they're doing like these weird, disgusting chants, and I'm just like,
you know those like those like, idol fans that wear like the whole idol hoppies and they do like ooh ha 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 ooh, you know, the whole thing with the light sticks and even like the there was a small group of them at that performance.
There wasn't a small group.
Oh,
it was
really?
just 2 people.
Oh shit.
It's just 2 people. They were hype as fuck.
They were like
I thought it was a small group. It sounded like it was at least 3 or 4 people.
It was two. And here's the weird part about it. Like, I'm looking at the other guys in there and some small girls in there. They just have like a derp stoic face. Just like watching this, like the weird oversized Asian grunt, as I like to call it. You know that one.
The Asian grunt.
No, not Asian grunt. The oversized Asian grunt.
Oh,
you ever see like that one weird fat Filipino kid that is like
Jomel.
overweight?
Yeah, I was about to say me.
Like overweight and has like this really soft bitchy face, like saying I play League of Legends and I'm Diamond 2, and you guys are just plebes to me, and here we are, we're just talking about normal life and structure like we don't care. That's kind of like this fucking look that they gave, like the audience gave, and I'm just like, at least be hyped about it. I mean, you're seeing these girls dance; they work so hard. But I had to leave early just because, like, I was so sleep deprived, and the big chanting was too much for me. I can't. But I would have stayed throughout the whole entire show. I would. Well, anyways, like, there's that group that I hang around with. Technically, the second group would be the second group that I usually hang around with too are my panelist groups, which are people I used to do panel with at like Anime Midwest or Daishokan, soon to be. Anime Magic is another thing I'm doing panels with, and we usually do like fandom panels like Ruby or My Hero Academia, Fairy Tail, Once Upon a Time, Pokemon. I remember hosting like game shows and whatnot, even debates. And these are the guys that I usually like see when it comes to paneling, or these guys I can rely on when it comes to paneling, because these guys have high energy. These guys want to like inform people about the new ideas in the fandoms. I remember I did this one panel called My Hero Academia, Marvel versus DC, where the panelists cosplayed as My Hero Academia fused with like Marvel characters and DC characters. Like,
that must have been pretty fucking cool.
It was, but let's face it, My Hero Academia was inspired especially by Marvel more than DC.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, it was no question in the debate of it, but some people still acted the part of defending DC, that it actually turned out to be a fun panel. And there was no like insults or anything like that. I remember I choked upon this one insult because I was part of the DC team, even though I do believe it was Marvel. I choked on the DC team, and there was excess sports energy drinks that I was like chugging during the panel because I was so sleep deprived. You can see a pattern to these anime conventions. You're gonna get sleep deprived if you play your cards wrong.
Or play your cards right.
Touche.
I mean, I feel like any con you go to, you'll definitely be sleep deprived by Sunday.
Because I think the debate was Batman versus like Batman as a mentor to Deku versus Captain America as a mentor to Deku. And here we're like going back and forth. I was trying to go Batman. He was trying to go Captain America. He's like, well, Captain America is all about strength and pushing forward, trying to encourage Deku to do other things. Yeah, but Batman is a man who can actually encourage Deku to actually do this. And we're going back and forth, back and forth. It got so heated that I'm like, well, you want to know one thing, sir? Excess Force energy drinks, sir. Dragon fruit flavor. This keeps me going, and this is the reason why your argument is null and void. I shut up and chug.
You fucking right.
Shut up and chug. Which,
you fucking right, dude.
like, I remember I was cosplaying as Drax mixed with Kirishima during that. It was Anime Midwest 2018 when that panel happened. And I wish to bring it back. I really wish to bring it back one day because it was one of my favorite panels, because it wasn't like a crazy panel, which is like a Q&A and people were and then people were like trying to get into character, but we're so nervous because, like, here's the tea. If you want to get into like some of these conventions and not like volunteer or staff or anything, people usually do like panels, like 4 panels just to get a free badge. So some of these guys are usually like frozen or stone faced when they had to perform in front of a crowd.
Right.
And then like the mini games and the trivias and whatnot, which I've slept, ate, drank, even had sex for the pattern, to the point where it's just like a relationship gone sour without the spark. You were like, I'll do it just to keep the fun going, but I'm not gonna like it.
Right.
But then, like, when it comes to like but anyways, yeah, that's like the second group that I usually hang around with. And finally, my third group, which is my get drunk, get partying group, because these guys are like, I don't care, because these guys are like usually the ones getting us drunk or getting us like turned up for the party, turned up for the rave. And yes, I know, but Anthony, alcohol. Oh well, screw it. But sweetie, alcohol is bad. This is bad. That is bad. Yeah, then don't drink it. Simple.
That's right. You don't have to get crunk at a convention. You should get crunk at a convention, but you don't have to.
And I'm going to get crunked at a convention. I want to get so crunked that I'm literally in a Marge Simpson cosplay, crumping on some stranger. I'll crump with you, sweetie pie.
Oh my god.
There you go. Once that's happened, you need
bananas.
Oh,
you want some Bacardi with that wine?
Oh my gosh, I can already see it. Oh, but please be sure that you are of age and then you're also not doing anything bad.
Well,
we ensure everybody's 21 because we always look at their profile. We always look at their.
Yeah, I mean, this is more so a PSA, if anything.
I hang around with the party gay guys, and we usually find each other on like Grindr, or we find each other on like Tinder or something like that. And we always look at the age first. If they're 21, if they're 20 or 19, we never ever give them alcohol. We always like push them away, or we usually give them like. We usually like fake away the alcohol. Like usually the bartender just like puts water Sprite just to make it look alcoholic, and a drop of like that Evo, which is like the water flavorings you usually get.
Yeah.
The thing that makes the water taste good. And we usually like make up the drinks, be like, oh, this is the sex on the beach. Yeah. And literally it's probably just orange juice and Sprite. And we usually like persuade them it's non-alcoholic. Like that's usually what I would do for a convention if there is an underage that sneaks into our, little drinking parties.
Right. I mean, the placebo effect will make them feel like they're drunk anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Actually, as a side, oh, sorry.
No, continue.
I was going to say, as a side, there was actually a study done where they gave one group actual alcohol, another group fake alcohol, and the group that got the fake alcohol actually acted more drunk than the ones that actually got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
There we go. That damn placebo effect. But like going into like not mixing the groups. I mean, obviously there's different groups, but like you were very like what is it?
Adamant.
Yeah, about like that kind of. I mean, obviously it's because different people and different kind of like connections, but there was also another reason for that. I can't remember the conversation. That was some days ago.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I'll never introduce the Love Life group to the Party Gay group because obviously some of the girls in that group are like 16 to 20, and Derpy being the oldest member of 23. I'll never introduce them to like the party groups or the alcohols because first off they're underage, and second off they're party animals, and second off like that group we have are like party animals. We don't want to like be responsible for like a 16-year-old getting an iron kidney for no reason. We're not, and we don't want them to like steal any alcohols because we don't know how these girls are going to react. Another thing about it is another reason not to integrate the groups is because then there are dramas in those groups that we have to tackle. Like, for example, it was ConLife. Oh
yeah, I guess you wouldn't want to have to mix different dramas because then it could just make something fucking a monster that you just don't want to deal with anymore.
It's kind of like this. You know how in wrestling, all the wrestling references, there's WWE, SmackDown, and Raw. Raw has their storyline drama going on. SmackDown has their storyline drama going on. And if you try mixing these two together, it's just going to be like this weird Beyblade match where you just spin the tops. It's so confusing. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose? And you're just like, I just want this match to end. Somebody get this Beyblade out of the ring. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the only reason I say separate your groups is enticingly is because you don't know which dramas are going to mix and who these people know and who these people don't. Like, for example, I was at another Midwest convention. I forgot what it was, and this one person like tried bringing in the drama of not paying their rent or not paying their not paying their like room money at 2 conventions ago. Like they went to like it was like a back-to-back convention. They went to like a February convention and then they went to a March convention, and then one time I think it was ASIN. Okay. But when the time like ASIN came, they were like being approached by this one person. They were being approached by the ex-roommate saying, okay, where's the money? It's just $52. Where's our $52? We only need your $52 just for this room. Just for this room all the way back in February. And then they tried getting me into the situation when I was hanging around with like my party animals. And the party animals were like, should we do something about it? I'm like, no, you stay out of this. You stay out of this. You stay out of this. They get themselves in the drama. Now they're in a war that we can't get out. So now, thank God we learned our lesson when it comes to integrating some of the dramas. That's mainly what it is. Like, if you have like a difficulty and a drama with another person, don't bring it into the group just for help. You gotta talk into this group. You can vent to somebody about this drama. Like, I'll usually vent to like somebody if I have a problem with somebody at a convention, but I'm not gonna say, hey, help me kick their ass, or help me solve it, or help me with the money. No, I'll never do that. So that's one thing. That's like another reason why you don't integrate the groups.
Well, Jomel knows all about
What?
paying for a room and generating genre from it, right?
Oh, well, you see, I mean, if you... No, Jarron, Anthony was the one that fucking saved me.
I was there. I was there. This was Jamel's first cosplay when he was cosplaying as like that villager dude from Minecraft, and that was fucking nice. But no, I was there. I saw the T go down. I saw this person go down. I saw Jomel just do that weird waddle away from her. I'm sorry. I mean, I know it's a very heartbreaking event, but I saw Jomel do that weird waddle away from you guys, which is just like, that's cute.
I mean, it didn't help. It didn't help the fact that we were in the same elevator when that fucking happened, right after the events occurred.
Did you notice that was Jomel though during that time?
I knew.
Did you know? Wait, did you know?
No one else. I knew. No one else knew. Because remember, you told me that you were in a villager cosplay.
Oh, so I did tell you. Okay, so you were the only one that actually knew what my cosplay was in that group.
Yeah, that's why I'm pretty sure I was eyeing you a couple times.
I mean, I was trying to look away to make it less obvious or make it less ambiguous, and all that shit. So okay, so you did know. Because I remember, cause I was like, oh man, after that day, I was like, I did not want to run into them. The next fucking floor, it was you guys, and I had to I had to play my fucking part and just my way out of this thing. Ugh.
Oh God, actually no, I remember her face. I don't remember her name, and I don't think we're gonna say her name.
Oh no. Despite everything, actually, everything's all cool now. Despite what happened on my first ASIN them years back. I was able to finally tell my side of the story and just in general what the chaos was on my end, and she and I are actually good friends now, so everything is all good because the podcast that one podcast episode of me explaining my first ASIN kind of helped shed some light on what I went through and what I was trying to achieve and overall, so.
I
thought it was fucking funny.
It's in retrospect, it was pretty funny. Despite everything that you go on, because I ended up being homeless for like that night, and then I rendezvoused at Sweetie's place because he lived close by to the con, so I was I took refuge in his home and was greatly appreciated by that fact as well.
Yeah.
But
and we were glad to have you.
Yes, of course. I mean, it's not like I didn't pay for the room. It's like it was more so just a big giant mishap and confusion, I guess. That ended up causing some monetary difficulties and monetary confusion as well. So, but again, that's behind me now. But yeah, as far as drama goes, yeah, for some reason, I mean, I don't know if you notice this too, drama. Like, drama seems to be much more prevalent, at least in con settings.
Well, here's the kind of the thing. Here's what I always tell people before they go to the convention. Any dramas you have before the convention, you leave at this convention. You leave before, and you leave like away from this convention. Conventions are supposed to be a paradise and a retreat, technically. It's supposed to be like a namaste place. I know all the spiritual healing bull stuff that, you know, people keep telling me about, and I'm just like, okay. But it is true. It's supposed to be like a way, it's supposed to be a vacation away from normality. But people do bring in that normality because they're never going to know the next time they're going to see these people again. Because I remember it was like, no, I'm not going to say a remembered story because I'm not going to remember at the moment. But you know what I mean? Like,
it's a safe haven for, you know, a rare safe haven for all the weebs in the world to go to enjoy, to just you know, laugh and be gross with each other.
Be cringy with each other.
Cringy with each other, exactly. And that's beautiful, and it should stay that way. We shouldn't be angry at each other for whatever the fuck other reason, you know, there might be. It just is unnecessary to come to a place like that and bring your bullshit with you.
Well, people do, and I don't even. And here's the thing, here's the weird question. I don't know why they would, because again, this is supposed to be escapism. It's supposed to be paradise away. It's supposed to be like enjoyment of it, but it's also like probably the only thing that's dramatic at the conventions is just money or relationships. Because here's the real deal. Like by day, here's my tea. By day, like outside of conventions, I'm like a boring white man who doesn't like hugs. Boring half white, half Filipino man. I'm sorry. A boring dude who usually just goes to work once a day. I need to get another job. I go to work. I sleep. I go to work. I sleep. I drink from time to time. Go to like parties. Try something new. At conventions, on the other hand, I'm like a star. I'm like the person who's always getting pictures for their cosplays, person who is always glorified for like a little bit of their makeup tricks. Like, I'll admit, my makeup is my strongest feat in my cosplays.
And it is always on point. If I like, I'm not just blowing your head up, but it's genuinely like really on point. So,
except for that Jigglypuff one, I'm sorry. The Jigglypuff one back at DaijoCon, it was my first time experimenting with that makeup, but we're not going to talk about that.
I mean, it's already sort of out there, so.
Oh well, yeah, okay then. Okay,
well, I mean,
okay.
you progressed quite a bit. It's really a stark improvement from what I've seen, and I hope you continue to do better for every cosplay you involve your makeup in.
Thank you so much, Jomel. But this ain't about me. It's about cons. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get back to the topic. That's.
Well, I mean, it's still part of it, you know. Makeup and stuff is a part of cosplay.
But anyways, like that's like the surface area of it. Like, but there are some people who like bring in like the separate dramas, like relationship issues with like an ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend that people slept with.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the beautiful ones. Oh wait, here's another one, like the money issues and something like that. Like I remember one friend when I was talking, they're having problems because they saw their ex-mate. It was a non-binary couple, a pansexual relationship, but they saw their mate back at the convention and they were like, so how do I put this? They were like still hung up on feelings for them that they didn't know what to do. They were like complaining to me about this drama, and I'm just like, well, take the time to enjoy the convention. Don't be hung up on this crush, and don't try to bring up any drama. And it's like his boyfriend's there, their boyfriend's there, and I think they're ready to kick my ass. Like, then don't pay attention to them.
I mean, literally, there's fucking thousands of people there.
Usually, yeah.
Okay, yes, you might run into them, but like, who fucking cares?
Yeah. Oh my God, no. Here's a funny guy that I met at a convention. I'm glad I don't have his social media, but I'm also sad at the same time. So it was my friend's next door neighbors at the Hyatt, and I forgot what the convention. No, it was ConLife. Friends, neighbors. Okay, they were like drunk off their minds and stuff like that. But like the neighbors were. So my friends called me up. They're like, "Hey, sweetie, what's going on? It's like 4 a.m. Are you awake now?" I was like, "Oh no, I didn't sleep yet. What's up?" Well, there's these cute guys, our next door neighbors, and I think you might have an interest in them. I'm just like, I don't know if this is trying to be a setup. Okay, now before we begin, cisgender, non-binary, all that jazz, because I'm not pansexual, I'm gay. So anyways, like they said, oh no, there's cis. I'm just like, I'll be on my way. Let's see what we got. So I walk up to the convention. So I walk up to their room, and it was just some guy who was just saying, I haven't been drinking for 3 months, so we can get the buzz immediately. I want to get drunk and find my ex-girlfriend and say how much I love her. I'm just like, oh, these stories are juicy. So anyways, like during that incident, he always kept like eyeballing me, saying, "Oh, you're so beautiful, but I'm straight. I tried it once." And I'm just like, oh God, I want to hear this story more than the ex-girlfriend that you keep bitching about, because she turns out to be a major cunt. So it gets funnier because I see him every hour, every minute, because ConLife is a really small con. It's like Christmas Anime Midwest.
Christmas anime, you're right.
No, yeah, it is much. Christmas. It is Christmas anime West.
I definitely want to go there because there's a lot of like Christmas themed cosplay, so it seems kind of fun.
It's cute. I debuted my reindeer Kirishima during then, but then again, it looks like a Wendigo. But anyways,
Wendigo.
It looks like a freaking Wendigo, which doesn't even look like Kirishima at all. If you like see that, and the sad part about like if you see it, like. Mm-hmm. There's like a beautiful picture that Rick Drew took a picture of. Follow him on Instagram. That Rick Drew took a picture of. That's so badass. But when I took a selfie, or when I was like doing some photo shoots with Derpy, like I had the most awkward face ever, and it's just like it looks like I really took a big fart. Oh wait, no. Anyways, no. Back to the other guy. Back to the drunk guy. I'm sorry.
Okay, we all can't be beautiful all the time.
Like back to the drunk guy. Yeah. Like. Every time I saw him, I saw him at the con suite. I miss my ex-girlfriend as he shovels ramen down his throat. Anytime when I was in karaoke relaxing for a little bit, I thank you so much. That went to my ex-girlfriend. I'm just like, I kiss with you. I see you every day. And then after the rave, when I had a little too much. No, I was tipsy. I was not drunk, but my psychosis believed I was drunk, but I wasn't blacked out. Right. I saw him again. I was drinking water. He's like, "Ew, did I tell you about my ex-girlfriend?" I was like, "I swear to God, fuck your ex-girlfriend. I know you want to, but fuck your ex-girlfriend if she's not talking to you. Where's your ex-girlfriend, if I may ask?" It turns out to be like one of those 5'2" Lolita girls that are like 23 years old.
How old was he?
He was 25.
Okay, that's not too bad.
No, she was 23.
Yeah, but like you said, he was 25. She was 23.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not bad.
But she's 5'2", like in slut outfit, had like back rolls, playing the back rolls game, and I'm just like, you know what? You hyped up this story. You're like that one anime that hypes up the villain. No, you're like One for All. You were like, what was his name? You're like All for One from My Hero Academia. You boost his fucking storyline up, and then when you finally give him that release he wants, guess what? You throw him in jail. You paid off. You did this one thing, like this big ego boost, and all of a sudden, bam! Just like, meh. Here's your epic climax. This 5'2" Shota this 5'2" Lolita is your epic climax. This is the girl he's been talking about, the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. it's just a small ass girl with back. It's just like a small ass girl with like curves. Like I understand the people with the curves and all that jazz, but fish your teeth while we're at it too. No, keep the mask on. You look like Melina from high school. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going off topic. What were we talking about again?
Well, we're talking about like the whole point, bringing your drama back with you to cons, and like I mean, but you also have to understand this. You have to understand this, sweetie. When a weeb loses their significant other, it is kind of devastating because not all weebs have good charisma. You're cringy. You're a fucking, some would say, a loser. It's rough out there. So when you have something, you lose it like that. It's like, shit. What now? I got to do everything I can to get it back. He's not, obviously, because he's fucking goddamn mess. But like, it's rough. I get it. It's a bummer to fucking bring that to a con, like the fucking shithole he is. But still. I understand, but leave that at home.
I getcha.
I mean, so in the slew of things, or in lieu of things. I don't know my French.
In lieu of things.
In lieu of things. Okay. Well, in lieu of things, what kind of advice would you give then? And this also goes for you too, Jarron, if you've ever experienced such things as well. For someone who obviously for someone who doesn't get involved with the drama, but like who's surrounded by or who's part of that group that gets into that kind of drama, I mean, it wouldn't be wrong to like kind of walk away from it during the weekend, would it? Or what's your opinion about that kind of thing? Especially because you're also trying to spend a good time at the con, and also not getting involved in other people's messes, despite them being people you know. I mean, what's your take on that? For you too, Jarron?
Well, here's my deal. Like, Jarron, you could like step in and shed of light for this because I think I overpowered this podcast.
Oh no, it's all right. No, we have a guest on the podcast. We expect them to talk.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I don't want to like talk too much, but my advice for the dramas at the convention would be simple. Schedule a talk. Here's the deal. Get your drama done Friday so you can take Saturday to enjoy it, and then Sunday's kind of like a lax day. Or if you were like me and you had like a couple of dramas or a couple of something that's eating your back and you release it like on Saturday and then you don't get the results you want, then Sunday you're just going to wind up like a hot mess. So if I were you, it's as much as it really hurts you, as much as it really pains you. And I'm not saying this just because, take your time. Oh, take your time, sweetie. It's all going to get better. No, it's like a Band-Aid. You've got to rip off that drama before it starts eating this convention. And if it starts more drama at this convention, then it's best to avoid that person at all costs. But if you can't avoid that person at all costs, like if you're like me and you have to do a panel with them, then it's kind of best if you do drop that panel. It's kind of best if one of you drops that panel, talk to like the room master, tell them that this is going on, that's going on, but don't ever say, hey, I need you involved in this.
Right. Don't bring other people into your shit because what are they going to do to help?
Yeah.
They're probably... There's always, sometimes people want to vent, but like how much can you really take, or how much can you really be there to have them vent on you?
Right.
All weekend, I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but like I also want to enjoy the weekend myself,
Right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say my whole thing in terms of drama, like I fully understand that we're all humans, we're gonna have conflict. That's kind of how we grow as people. But the problem is that we are, typically most people that room together at cons are adults, or at least if you're in high school, I understand it's hard to control whatever is going on with you. But after a certain point, it just becomes unnecessary. I honestly don't think it's necessarily the drama that's the problem. It's the people that the drama's coming from. And like you said, it's kind of for the people that don't cause a drama but are like inviting the people that tend to make them. Make the drama. It's kind of like they're your friend, but like is it worth ruining your own fun to have them around? You know what I mean?
Yeah. One advice that my sister actually told me.
Mm-hmm.
There are times where you can fight, but in reality, all you got to do is listen. If you get yourself involved in this, you're going to receive the same treatment as this other person, and you are not going to handle it. So my advice when it comes to if you do bring drama into this con,
Mm-hmm.
like if you do bring drama into this convention at all, then you're going to have to fight it head on. And if it still lingers at this convention, then I think it's best if you just get up and dance away, because if you destroy this drama, if you kept this drama going to the point where you're ready to kill this one person for this drama, I don't know, he took your last cheesecake and now you're being all butthurt about it. It's just best to leave. You've already ruined this place as a sanctuary and a safe space. Just leave. There's always next year. There's always another con. Even if you made a mistake at Daisho Con, there's always Matsuri Con, or there's always Ramen Con, or Anime Magic, or Rip Van Winkle Con. Hey, even go to Coffee Con, for hell's sake. I'm trying to find someone to go to Coffee Con with me.
Is that a real thing?
It is a real thing. I want to go.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Coffee Con? What the? Is it literally
Like coffee?
With Coffee Con, it's new experiences and new ways and new advances in coffee. Sooner or later, there's going to be marijuana infused coffee because of the new law being passed in January 1st.
Oh wait, no. I've seen those. There's also shroom. There's also shroom elixirs that are also coffee based as well. I've seen.
What?
Yeah, it's something that helps chill you out and all that stuff.
Look,
Yeah.
you wanna chill me out? Don't give me something gross as coffee or look. I don't know if I can say that legally. Never mind. I won't comment on it. I've heard that marijuana tastes like ass. So, why would you put that in coffee that already tastes like ass?
Because of the benefits. It has that one weird oil that supposedly calms down your nerves and relaxes most of your systems.
The CBD oil?
That jazz.
Yeah.
And you know where you learn that information? Not only from the internet, but from CoffeeCon.
I guess.
I'm gonna have to look this up and see for myself and see if I can maybe finesse my way into a CoffeeCon ticket. But I mean, in retrospect of things, Sweetie does have a point. Even going back to his earlier comments, from the start of the podcast, con is a place where you kind of want to, escape, have a good time, and especially if you're having a shitty IRL time, I feel like a con should be a good place for you to really just kind of explore and just not think about your IRL situation for the weekend. It's kind of like a mini vacation in a sense.
Right.
Despite the whole, con experience being still partying and other stuff, but still it's a place for you to escape, be literally a different person or a different character for 3 different days, and just live it out. So go on.
And before let me add one more thing. You know how I mentioned you have your separate groups?
Right.
That's another reason. That's another way to avoid the drama. If you have a problem with Group A, you go straight to Group B. If you have a problem with your Love Life group, you go straight to your Drinking Buddy group.
Well, then let's be honest here. There's always gonna be problems with Love Life group, but
yeah.
I'm a fan of the series. The fans themselves, they're a little bit intense for me. It was just an example of how another way you can get past the drama at the cons. That's why you have multiple groups, because you're okay, I have a problem with you, and you. You're part of Group A. I'm gonna go to Group B. Have fun. Pass the tequila. I mean, it does make sense though. Especially when you talked about not mixing them, because especially if you keep them their own separate thing. It's not like you're mixing one drama from one group into another group's situation as well, so it's less problems for you, I guess, in a sense. So, but I mean, also one question too. It's not. Well, it wouldn't be too bad to like walk away from it all, or for the weekend at least. I don't know, like I wouldn't want it to get to that kind of point, especially if you're just kind of the person just kind of getting involved in such things.
Mhm.
Well, here's the thing: if you guys have tried to like settle it, like, all right, guys, you like you said, sweetie, you said, have a sit down on Friday, talk about it, rip the Band-Aid off. If they're not willing to move past whatever they got going on, then, and they keep trying to bring it to you, at that point in time, you just kind of be like, all right, well, you guys do what you're gonna do at the con. I'm gonna be over here, either with another group. Hell, I'll even go by myself if it means I don't have to fucking consistently, have my mood brought down because of your shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go, guys. I mean, yeah. So as long as you actually tried, there's effort, and you can put your effort into a lot of things, but you don't have to consistently put your effort, especially if you've been doing it in the beginning, right? I guess you've been saying.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. As long as you tried. Yeah, as long as you tried. That's what matters,
As long as you tried, you get that golden sticker.
Yeah, exactly. And before we kind of like end things off here, because we have been going for a little bit here, kind of like an hour or so. You got any advice, sweetie, on like post-con depression, or if you've anything that you've experienced as well?
Oh, my advice on post-con depression?
Yeah.
Well, if you're like me, who's like a total veteran who always wants to work on a cosplay, get excited for the next convention, get prepped up for the next convention, and then your post-con depression will, semi-deplete, because you get to see, because honestly, like, it's probably like a 1 out of like 10 chance you probably get to see these people again. Focus on the next convention, focus on the next cosplay, focus on the next group that you're gonna hang around with, and just get hyped up for that convention. Yeah, Anime Midwest is over, but that doesn't mean, you stop at Doki. That doesn't mean you stop and then you just keep lingering on that. If there's no conventions going on, what I usually do for post-con depression myself is still chat with the old friends that you used to still chat with the old friends you made at con. Because I'll admit, I made like a new friend at con, and we managed to keep a little bit in touch. He lives in like Minneapolis, Minnesota, so I'm still trying to like get in contact with him for a little bit, maybe like chat up, maybe like talk about anime or something like that. It's kind of like hold on to the groups that you also hang around with, so it doesn't feel like you see each other like once a month, but you see each other like more than that. You know what I mean?
Kind of like a follow-up in a sense.
Pretty much. Or maybe if you have like needs from a convention that need to be satisfied, like meeting new people or
going to orgies or
con orgy or meeting at the raves, look that shit up online. Like there's probably like a nightclub that'll give you your rave fix if you constantly want to live that life, which don't. It's horrible. If you want to go to a meetup, there's always costly meetups during the summer that people usually host because they're like, I want to see my peeps again in the Chicagoland area. I want to see my cosplay groups again. Like I remember that. Or if you're usually not one of those people, you can usually like call up some of the con friends and like hang out with them, i.e. get some coffee, get some tea or some shit like that. Right. Because I usually hang around with like some of the people in Chicago, and I always like ask them like when they're off, when they're not busy, so we can like grab some coffee, grab some dinner, watch some anime, con crunch together, and laugh and look up con orgies or something like that.
Right.
So that's my advice to fight con depression. Keep contact of your con friends.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. There was something I wanted to say. I guess I just can't fucking remember now. But yes. So we have been going on for a little bit, guys. Before we end off here, I want to thank Sweetie again for humbly joining us, joining us at our humble podcast, the Wanna Be a Boo podcast with Jarron and I.
Mm-hmm. Humble podcast. We talk about orgies.
We talk about more than just orgies. We've had like 3 hentai podcasts, I think.
Yeah.
So far.
Now. Yeah.
Oh bless. Oh God.
But See, so in terms of like how when this will be released, you'll already be gone and done Doki Kokan. That's what it is, right?
Yes, Doki, yeah, in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Kalamazoo.
Hey.
Such a fucking.
So, but what are if you if you guys wanna, are you open? Are you open to always to people like me seeing you and all that in terms of like, I don't know if you're doing it. Are you doing any like other shows at like other cons? At least from my understanding.
Doki has their Doki Doki drag show coming up.
Right.
So, well, okay, this podcast is going to be released after the drag show. So,
Right.
yeah, because shameless plug, and I'm also a drag queen. August 22nd, I'll be in Boys Town perform for Replay, which is like their drag cosplay competition.
Mm-hmm.
The 23rd of August, I'll be doing Club Groove, which is my personal show in the Phoenix Bar nightclub, which is Club Kid makeup, Club Kid inspired drag, weirdo drag, more like the freak drags. But I'm also going to be attending Anime Magic, again, 16, 17, 18. I'm doing a body paint panel. So if you guys want to learn how to be a Homestuck or be a Steven Universe character.
You don't want to learn how to be a Homestuck.
Or be Mina from My Hero Academia, or be Poison Ivy, then this is the panel for you, how to alter your skin mainly. I'm also, let's see, what other shows are coming up?
Aren't you also going to Dai Show? If I remember correctly.
Oh yeah. Okay. If we're gonna go that far in the schedule, I am going to be going to DaichoCon, which is November, something like late November now.
I think it's like 22nd, if I remember correctly.
Like it's all before Thanksgiving, so that's one. Ace Comic Con in Navy Pier. I think they transferred over to the Rosemont.
Oh, okay.
But that's another convention coming up in September, October, I believe. And there might be a slight gamble that I might go to Wizard World in Rosemont, which is August 25th, 23rd, 24th, 25th. But, my Club Groove event is still like on day of Wizard World, so that's kind of like going to be a hindrance for me. And then potentially I'll go to Con Alt Delete.
There we go. Sweetie here has got a busy schedule, but plenty of moments and plenty of different cons if you ever want to meet him out there, rocking his stuff, and also even seeing him in a panel. So I've yet to go to one of your panels, but I want to go. I need to go to one of your panels when
I'll keep you updated. I'll keep you updated on the panels because I did turn in 3 panels for Daisho, so let's see what happens.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Well, I'll definitely have to check that out in the coming future. But again, as always, guys, and as always, to any guest that we do have here on the podcast, thank you again, sweetie, for being part of our podcast. It's an honor having anyone else that could shed some light about the community, as well as part the ConLife, which is essentially our main stage for our specialty of a community, I guess you'd say, right, Jarron?
Trash heap, more like.
Where so much, you can only have so much concentrated weeb at those cons.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank you for having me. It's been fun. Like, I love talking with you, throwing some shade, throwing some tea and light into conventions. And also, out of all this, conventions are still a fun place to go to, so I highly recommend going.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Definitely, guys. Well,
That's it.
But as always, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading us. We are almost at our 2K total download mark, or we just kind of passed over 1,900 total downloads. I finally figured out what I'm gonna be doing, Jarron, for the big celebration when that rolls around the corner. So keep an eye out for anything that happens, or anything that pops up on the WBA TV YouTube channel, as well as the affiliated Facebook page that Ron mentioned way back in the beginning of the podcast. But as always, my name is Jomel Sakaro.
My name's Jarron Gaddis.
And I'm Sweetie Toxic.
And we are the Wannabe Boo Podcast, bringing the latest and greatest game anime news, reviews, and waifus for lifeu.
Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll talk to you next time.
This is where you say goodbye, sweetie.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Okay,
all right.
have a good day. Have a good day. Goodbye. Stay sweet. I thought you were call off.
Oh no, that's okay.
Wait, did we call off yet?